start talking about?
Yeah. So like we've been like known each other. It's been over 1 year, right?
Almost a year, yeah.
Yeah, we started like talking together right after. Is it before or after? Before.
I think a little bit before, but it wasn't like a lot. And then, because I think it was. So when you started your brand, it was like basically just like a little bit before the.
Happened to you,
but
right?
It happened.
Yeah.
So, and then like somehow we started talking on Instagram, and that's when like the relationship was in some way built. And I remember I was like even telling my husband, I was like, oh, that would be so cool to like work with her one day and to like do something together with her and learn from her. And it was like kind of a manifestation in some way, I feel like. And then you were like, after I came back to the States, you were like, hey, like, do you want to do, like, are you still like doing modeling and like things like that? And that's how it started in some way, the project. And I was like, at one time I was like, well, it's probably maybe not the best time because I was like pregnant. So I was like, well, if it happens, it's okay. If it's great, and if it's not, then like I totally understand. And then when you were like, oh yes, we want to have you to work with this project L'Etoile, I was like, wow, like that is so fun, and like I'm just was looking forward to it, and I was just very, in some way, honored that I can work with such a talented and cool people. And that's how I think in some way this came true, and like in a way that's like, oh, I'm able to work with you, but also I'm able to meet all of you and to create something interesting.
Yeah, thank you. You know, because for us it was very meaningful having you. Because you know, like when I started my work, I actually want to work with real people. You know, like not like it's amazing. You know, having a different way for project with the different models all together. They're all beautiful, but it was really hard to get to know each other. Right, it's the moment and just goes and goes out so fast. So I really couldn't catch like their moment, and then like I couldn't share what we really want to share. So just for images, it's capture and then go and then out and in like that. So, but I thought I talked with Sayaka, it would be amazing if we can have a chance, like somebody like has the life we've been sharing, and then like being together in this project. And also, when I heard that you had a newborn baby, you will have a baby, and like Sayaka, like, oh, why not? Because we are doing also new beginning.
Yes.
Like the beginning. So for you, it's really new beginning with the baby. And so we thought this is perfect, that you could be perfect person to be together with us.
Oh.
Yeah. And in the moment we start talking to each other, also when I started like my own work.
Yes.
Yeah. And this our story, like when I talked with Sayaka, and Sayaka, like, yeah, she's amazing, and like, well, let's just do it, And also all the dresses were really protein on you, like that's what we thought, because it's all very like natural shape and not really forcing fitting on your body. so it's like with your, like how you are now with the baby.
Yeah.
Like when, no problem, right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's very happy to have you. But at the same time, Polina, like we just wanna, I know you have been like, past like a long journey, like kind of short, can be short, but it's like can feel very long. And also we kind of feel, wow, it's been a long time. And then would you just, like tell us about like your, like the time that, your country being like in difficulty, and then how you felt beginning, and then, what you made, what, made you to go to your country, and then how you feel now. So what's important for you now to move forward, something like that, yeah.
So, it's been a very long time, and like me and my husband, we've been working a lot in fashion industry and in design, and it's been like always very great and very fun, and we been able to like work with also amazing people. And we were living in LA, and at that time there was already like a war in Ukraine, in other part of Ukraine, but it wasn't like it was more like, they will call it like a conflict. And so no one knew, like it's been already for 8 years, so like we knew that there like something is happening, but like it wasn't affecting the whole country in some way. And then, but it still like was in some way hurting, because a lot of men would be sent to those military places, and they have to fight as well. But then when the war started in February, I feel like our whole world and like the dreams we had, or like the plans we had for our future, they crashed in one moment, and it felt like nothing matters anymore. And like we were very focusing on the only things, it's like our families and taking care of each other, and that way we like saw that like there's probably way more than just design and like fashion and other things. There's like way more like important things that we still have to focus on. And when the war started, we were in LA, as I mentioned, and we were not eating, not like sleeping, and we were just watching the news, and we would like think what we could do, and sometimes we would be like so lost, because we're like, well, we can't help from the United States, like I don't know what we can do from here, if like I know what's happening in my country and I know how to like take care of things inside of the country. And so after that, like thinking, we both made a decision that we should go to Ukraine. And so that's how I feel like in some way it's also metaphorically we closed our past life, and we closed all the things like that we have done, our jobs. We packed all of our like apartment that we just settled in, and we felt like very much as home. And we had to sacrifice and just leave. And that's when I feel like in some way our life began, because we came to Ukraine 7 days after the war started, and we were able to see what our people are going through, and we were able to, with our opportunities, to help and to lift and to like give someone kind of a new life, because a lot of people will like lose their houses or lose their close ones or anyone, and you just had like everyone who was around us, everyone was just a huge family. Like everyone was like here for each other, taking care and like checking on each other. And I feel like that's how, even with my friends, we became even not as just friends but more like a family, because we were worried so much, and we would like try to find an apartment and trying to like to do something. And then we started doing like cooking meals for people, like organizing refugee center, and that's how all of that like unity in some way helped people to continue to live and to like refresh some like scary parts of their lives and give it to this service, or give it to, and by giving it to the service, find your like yourself in a new way. And I feel that time helped us learn like a lot of major things about ourselves. And when we came back to the States, when the time came for like that we needed to come back, we both were again lost, and we were like, well, we had this purpose, and we like had so much things we were able to do, and it felt like every single day was like such a busy, and you know, like there was like so much joy because you were not just doing something but you were helping people. But then you're like, okay, like what do we do now? And I feel that, and like it took us some like couple months to be able to even like bring ourselves back mentally. But after all of that experience, we both were able to plan our year and plan our goals differently. Like we feel that like we're totally different people. And I remember even that when the war started, I was like, well, I hope we will survive, and I hope we will have a family. And someone told us that like you will have a family. And interestingly enough, we didn't really knew when we're gonna have like a baby or like anything, but I feel like in some way it brought us like this new beginning and new hope of this life that like is so clean and so it just like, you know, like everyone's saying that like baby is like the most clean and the most like a little angel, like holy angel. And so I think even for like our family and for like during this war, it felt like it brings you more it brings you new hope, and it brings you new understanding of what's like gonna happen next, and to look forward for new goals and new life. And I feel like even that when like we find out about this news, like we were able to get a job, so we were able to get like different projects, but also it felt creatively like that it's like creatively we were able to come back to ourselves, but in a new way. So it's like, oh, if I think about like closing or like creating something, it's way differently than I thought before, and it's more inspiring in a lot of ways. And so And so I feel like when you told me about this project, as well as like that Saiga, it's your 10 years anniversary, and it's how like it's kind of you celebrating what you have done, but also like how you begin your new like it's your new beginning and new way of being a like designer and like your own personality as well. It's like your brand Hannah, and like that it's also new for you, and it's something that like was born like recently, and you are trying to create, like you're trying to go like create your own like and go, find your own way to express yourself. And I feel like in a lot of ways right now we see so many new things, but they're more not personal, like it more everyone just like trying to go such a fast life and such a fast like they're trying to find like such a fast success in what they like what someone want to do. But I feel like even in this experience that we were able to do together in this photo shoot, it felt like just like a family, you know. Like even the way how you were handling things and like organizing, it felt like very like it just never felt like very stressful or anything. Like it was more like, oh, how can we explore this, or how can we do this, or how we can experiment and together like come to the idea of what you can do. And it felt like very peaceful, but at the same time it brings a lot of hard work, and it brings a lot of effort and time that you put into your talents. And it felt very powerful and very inspiring to see this all come together like that. I feel like even right now fashion is lacking this feeling of like peaceful and like family feel when you're working as a team, like when everyone is treating each other in such a loving and respectful way. And I think that's like one of the things that help is like all of us have a, you know, in some way new beginnings, and like this new life of different things are able to create something beautiful and bring this peace and like inspire the world in a new way, and more like peaceful and more safe way. And so yeah, I think this this experience also shows how what it can be like, you know, what it can be like to have a family, or how you know, family is not always your like personal family, but it's also like people around you, and how you like you're responsible for what you create and how people feel around you. And so I think that was like very like one of the major things. It's like it felt like very, very good.
Because as I'm listening from you, you know, it's sometimes really hard to like, you know ourselves, like, but we believe in, but we don't know how to express about like what there's something going on, what we are thinking. But when you explain us how you felt, it actually kind of cleaning up our head and heart. Like, yeah, that's right, that's what we actually want to do. And like it's amazing that like you could feel that, and you could explain us that, you know, what is important things these days, because we all really goes that way, and then we want to try to be, there. And we were thinking, I'm pretty sure, Saka also, I think that we are lucky actually having you. It was a very good experience. Like someone really understand what we're doing, and then working together, and also we can hope something together later, you know. And so life goes on always, and I'd love to do, another one or so, when we have different life step. I know with babies and and then we don't know where we go, and like we're gonna meet somewhere, like
of course,
in this ground. And I really hope we can have another chance to work together. And I'm very, very curious about your future. I think you're gonna do really good, right, for the future. And do you have any plan for like moving forward for the future, near or later?
I really dream to create something on my own, like a brand, and I'm trying to find ways to express myself and to find my style right now. And I know that like working with different people also helps me to understand more of what I want in my own life and my own team. And so I really dream that I will be able to have like maybe like a studio, and people, and even giving this opportunity to have this space where people can do what they love to do, and they can create with their hands, and they can create something new and like beautiful. And so I think I dream to have this balance of like, sometimes like people say that it's like impossible to have family and like your like business or brand, but I hope I can have this balance of like having a family, having kids, but also having another family that could be my my team and my people who I'm able to interact every day, and to think about how we can be more like creative and what we can do, and how like something that we create can make this world better, or like or how it can just be more inspiring in some way. And I think I hope I will be able to like find a way how I can express myself. I've been in a lot of different settings in fashion industry, and like I worked like with my hands and also as a model, and like there was like a lot of different things I tried, but I really hope I'll be able to. I still love to be someone who is behind the scenes and who could see all of those small details, and like those small details that create eventually this beautiful big thing that people see. But sometimes it's very hard, like it's almost never visible for other people, and I think that's what I want to show more. It's like how much effort it takes for so many like people to create something.
That's amazing. You will get there. We live it.
It's manifested.
And I really believe there is always a reason when we meet people, right? And also, I know, God always sent good news through people. So it was a really amazing experience for us, like having you this in show, and I hope you had a very good experience with us too.
Likewise.
So let's see how we get there, like somewhere that we are hoping.
Yes.
and let's keep in touch, and then we're gonna make something later together.
Yes.
Also, we both really, open to do something with you if you have any project, you want to do with us. Like we are free, right?
I love this.
So we can go anywhere.
Yes,
yeah,
please.
and then wherever has something meaningful things, we can do it. We can make it something happen to you.
Yeah, let's
let's
keep our friendship and let's keep working in some way.
Yeah. So
that would be like so amazing, and it is meaningful. Like I think, like that's one of the things that like people want to. I feel like there's so much people want to own themselves, but I feel even with creating a non-profit organization, the most successful way is always when we work with couple different other organizations, and that's why I think in some way it is important to express yourself as a designer, but it's also a lot of times could be very powerful when you work together. And so I do see a lot of success in your work because I know that you put so much into it, and I know that you love what you do, and that's what is matter.
Yeah, thanks so much for having talking with us.
Yeah.
And Saika and I both really want to go that in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what you are thinking is really, really close to what we're thinking. I mean, almost the same principle, I think, and then the same heart. So yeah, that's moving on in that way. And
Yes.
just believe and go
Yes,
and
let's
flow
do it.
that one, right? Yeah. So thanks so much for everything. This
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.